Hello. I'm sorry. I am really sorry, but Sundowns guys is not doing the things, ne? Because you remember what happened with Junior Mendieta. He was wanted by Kaizer Chiefs. Sundowns pops in, they get him, they end up signing him, but now there are talks that he might be going back to Stellenbosch on a loan. But we need to go back even further and think about Terence Mashego, who was linked with Kaizer Chiefs and then Sundowns ended up signing him. Look at what's happening to him. He's not playing it for Mamelodi Sundowns, yet for some reason he's been called to the national team. But that's not the point. The point is, this is a repeated pattern which their coach confessed in a way too, because he said if there's a player who's available who can strengthen a rival, then we must take that player. Like, it's not even like we're inventing such things. And I know there are Sundowns fans who watch this channel, but guys, seriously, we clearly can see this, and it's about to get even worse because Kaizer Chiefs once again linked with Upasatin, but now is Sundowns also want Upasatin. To me, the question is Bamfunelan because they have Opri Motiba, and I know people will say, "Oh, but Motiba is probably going abroad end of the season." But they just signed another player from Chippa United who's a right back. But currently, they do not actually need another left back because they would still have Terence Mashego as a starter. They are the ones who let go of Ulaila K and then did this whole thing that I didn't get of him going to Supersport or not going to Supersport. And but this repeated pattern makes me think Sundowns is so good. We should never run away from that. They're playing well. They've been winning, dominating. But then why do you see the need to still kind of go after these players to kind of disrupt the flow of Kaizer Chiefs? Because that seems to be the team that they're against, which is worrying and weird to me because think about it. Chiefs have not been anywhere near competing with Sundowns for titles. Yes, in the COVID season, Chiefs were there. But in the 2 seasons after that, they were not there. So then why are you threatened so much by Chiefs? Because at this point, I love my team, but they are not at the level of Mamelodi Sundowns. So it's really weird. And because of Sundowns actually wanting to sign Upasati, now Kaizer Chiefs are linked with signing Qobolwake Sibande. Qobolwake Sibande also plays for Stellenbosch, right? Just like Upasatin. He's a backup left back to Upasatin, but he can also play as a defensive midfielder. And that's if you look at it and think about would Kaizer Chiefs or will Kaizer Chiefs end up signing, that is kind of a plus because you're thinking of he's a utility player, can play left back in and play as a left midfielder as well. He can also play as a defensive midfielder. So that's a good thing. His age is still on his side, so there's a lot of development in that regard. However, you look at the flip side of that and you're like, he still needs to develop. And we've seen how it works with the players who still need to be developed at Kaizer Chiefs. It doesn't end well with them or for them because us as fans, we are not very patient. We don't want a player who's still growing to be in our team. We want a player who's fully grown because we want results. As such, it then becomes difficult for these young players to thrive at Kaizer Chiefs. The positive thing, though, is the fact that he's playing for Stellenbosch and we have a relationship with Stellenbosch. Problem is, if Sundowns end up signing Upasatin, then I don't think Stellenbosch will let go of two of their left backs in one season. So this thing of wanting Upasatin by Sundowns becomes problematic for Chiefs in two ways. Positive thing though is that when it comes to buying him from Stellenbosch, he would be cheaper because it's not like he's starting every game. Problem though is that because he's not starting enough games, you can't then bring him to Kaizer Chiefs and make him a starter. And someone will say, but why would we make him a starter? We still have a left back. His name is Fisohlant and his contract is expiring in June. And his agent via Disky Times has said that they're waiting for Kaizer Chiefs to renew his contract. So the talks have not been done or yet or have not been held. But even last season, we saw this with Uhlanti. Chiefs waited until the end of the season and then they negotiated his contract. Which brings me to this question. Do you think that Kaizer Chiefs should renew a contract as Fisohlanti when it comes to the end? Because, yes, we will talk about how much it doesn't give us and stuff like that. But which other choice do you have at this point? Because Dover gets Dove gets injured a lot at left back. At the same time, when he does play left back, so he ends up playing as a left-sided foot back, left centre back. That's what I meant to say. My pen is a big froggy. Anyways, he ends up playing better as a left-footed centre back. So now the question is, should they renew the contract Kasfiso Hlant? Mind you, Negatov is also expiring in June. Now the other question related to this: if you had a choice between Uhlanti and Udove, if Chiefs were given an option, choose one player, either Hlanti or Dove. Which one would you choose to get his contract renewed? And now we move on to the next player who's linked with Kaizer Chiefs, and his name is Stanley Nwabili. He's 27. He is currently playing for Chippa United. And in the 15 games that Chippa United have played this season, he has kept 7 clean sheets. And that's impressive considering the fact that he's playing for Chippa United and they are not really setting the world on fire with record-breaking performances. I don't even know if there's such a thing as a record-breaking performance. But they're not playing like wonderful football. They're just there, So for him to have 7 clean sheets in this season playing for Stellenbosch, then it means like he kind of knows what he's doing. But at the same time, you cannot attribute clean sheets just to the goalkeeper. It also has to do with defense act. Anyways, we're going to give him that because he's not just keeping clean sheets for Chippa United. He's also getting called up to the national team. Not starting every game, but he's considered enough to go to Nigeria and start some games. Because even now, as it's AFCON season, AFCON time, he's actually there in Nigeria right now. Well, not in Nigeria, in Ivory Coast to represent his country, which would come in handy for us, right? Because our hope and ambition is to get into the top 2 and play, or top 2 or top 3. Top 2, top 3. What am I even saying? Uguti, if he's there, then he can also give the Chiefs that international experience of playing in that level. Obviously, I'm not saying that he will come and replace Ubvuma, which is another problem because if you're signing him from cheap and he's doing relatively well and he's getting called up to the national team, will he want to come to Kaizer Chiefs and just sit on the bench? Obviously not. I think he would have a belief that he can take the position away from Ubvuma. So we just have to wait and see, because I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to have keepers competing for a position because no one is comfortable. But at the same time, I don't think it would make sense for us to take the foreign spot that we are so desperate to have and give it to a goalkeeper. If you are going to sign a foreign player, I think it makes more sense to either sign a striker or a midfielder or someone who's massively needed. For example, a left back, or example, an attacking midfielder, a striker. Those are the positions that you can go out and say we are going out to get a foreign player, because if you are going to take that, give that to a goalkeeper only for him to sit on the bench, then to me it does not make sense. What also doesn't make sense is a person who's watched the video to this point and has not liked the video. Do the right thing. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and do all these nice things. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, equals Alpelu Moy.